All right, guys, welcome back to the Golf Podcast. No lead is safe on the PGA Tour, is it, Mike?
That's for sure.
Wow. I'll tell you what, just kind of recapping really quick the Sentry last week. Would you consider it a blow up? Because, you know what I mean? Like, the people's, you know, even Morikawa, you could see a little bit, he's saying it's going to take some time to, like, kind of shake that off. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we looked at it and it was kind of going in there. Some of the headline grabbers were like, you know, one of the biggest, like, collapses. I see the word collapse. I have a little trouble calling it a collapse, though. I think it takes a little bit away from what Rahm did. But what are your thoughts?
It's a combo collapse. Rahm was so hot. John Rahm, right? 10 under?
John went 10 under in the final round, pouring in the birdies.
Yeah, he was dumping them in. And Colin said it in his post interview. He said something, someone asked him that question, and he was like, you know, it was a combination. You can't take away anything that John did, but I also can't shoot 1 under at Kapalua and expect to win. So, I mean, it was a tough story because, like, here you got this kid who didn't win last year. And everyone's like, he's due. He's 6 under going into Sunday. Blows up.
But that's the thing. I have so much trouble calling it a blow up because although he had some rough moments, that one shot, I think it was out of the bunker. He just punched it over the green, was tough to watch. But he made 3 bogeys. 3. I know it's all relative because everyone was just going low at Kapalua, which I want to talk about in a video game too.
Right.
It really is. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say that anyone blew up shooting 1 under round on the PGA Tour.
I know, but he said it.
I know. That's the fun. I guess that's what the relative. But it also shows you, like, is no lead safe? Like, what these guys can do out there. It's just like you take a course like Kapalua, which is it's not for us. It would be a difficult course. I guess for them it's not. But they just beat that place up. And if you're not shooting really 7 under in a round, you're not even in contention. That's wild.
It's nuts. I mean, Cam had like the course record, right? 34 under or something.
Did you see some of the yardages? I'm looking at this 673-yard par 5. Pretty much everybody's getting on in 2.
Yeah, because the downhill roll.
Downhill in the wind.
Do you see the clocked roll on Spieth's thing? It was like 42 seconds of roll. Yeah, they had a shot clock on it.
It's incredible. there was that one hole. It was a par 4 playing 525. 525 for a par 4.
Yeah,
and everybody's good. Now, of course, it is all relative. There's the elevation. There's all those types of things. But regardless, though, one other takeaway, you know, you hate to see it with Morikawa, but on the same side, like, I think a lot of the story is really what John Rahm did and the strength that he has coming into this new season. But one thing we've talked about a little bit before is, like, you know, the PGA Tour losing a lot of guys to live and stuff like that. But I'm just looking at this event and this leaderboard, and I'm thinking we've got a lot to look forward to on the PGA Tour as far as, you know, stories and these guys who can play. First of all, the young guns, right? Zalatoris.
Yep.
Max Homa.
Mm-hmm. Both are going to win this year easily.
Smith. Cam
Young.
Cam Young.
Yep.
I said Cam Smith.
We confused the Cams.
Cam Young. The 3 of those guys alone, what they were doing, and I'm like, just picking up right where they left off at the end of last year.
Yep.
I think those are names you're going to see all over the leaderboards all year. The other question I have for you is, watching a little bit of Scotty Scheffler, do you think he takes that number 1 spot back?
I think
off Rory.
I think the guy who's going to take it is Rahm.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to go on a tear this year.
I think it could happen.
I don't know. And I'm just basing it off that 10 under round, so I'm like fresh off that, but I don't know. Something about it. It's a gut feeling.
Rahm has he's got what it takes to, like, in the pressure final rounds. He can really make it happen. But it's funny because Rory, if you remember at the end of last year, even surprised himself with the end that he had to that season. Never would have thought he would have been in that position. But yeah, I got to feel like, A, the number 1 slot is not safe, and B, just week to week on the PGA Tour, it's just truly anybody's game. I just saw so many guys on that leaderboard who could any of those guys could win on any Sunday. It just shows you that we're in for an exciting year. And that's only the first event of 23.
And you know what's so interesting? I'm watching it first off, every time I watch it, I just, like, there's no stop on the PGA Tour that makes me want to go there more than the Hawaii swing.
Oh, I know.
There's no way about it.
It's not crowded at all. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah. But like the crowds are thin. I feel like if you could get to that event, for us from New York, it's a long travel.
Yeah.
But if you can get to that event, I feel like you're going to get more access than you would anywhere else.
I would think so.
You're right next to the guys.
Absolutely. Especially if you're staying there on site at the Kapalua where they're staying.
Yeah.
It'd be a pretty cool experience.
And the thing is, too, that I like, the guys are so chill, too.
Yeah.
Right. I
Oh,
mean,
they're
it's
always
a much
chill
more
mode.
laid back
Families
vibe.
are there.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. So speaking of chill,
Yes.
we're going to bring back a quick segment here. Bank it or shank it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's an oldie.
It's an oldie, but we're
Yes.
going to bring it back. We got JJ Spawn's untucked look. I think we've got the one we can pull up here. Here you go. Here's your image, right?
Yep.
All right. The untucked look in general, whether it's on the PGA Tour or every day on the course, are you buying it, you're selling it, bank it or shank it?
I'm shanking it, and I'll tell you why. And this is coming from a guy who I basically live my life in hoodies and joggers and whatever. So for me, I think on the course, if you're untucked, you're a little sloppy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I like hoodies on the course, but that looked just a little sloppy. It looked like he was like +8. He's having a rough weekend with the boys. He's like 8 beers deep. Okay, wait, pull that picture back up real quick. I just want to check it out one more time. Yeah, he's upset. He wants to go home.
I don't know. I think it's more the loose fit that's throwing you off there. Look at like even the pants. Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I wouldn't wear it untucked because I just feel like I feel more put together with it tucked in on the course. However, what I'm shanking is anybody telling anybody what you can or can't wear on the course. I'm over that.
Yes.
I want it to be like
I
you wear
agree.
what you want and let the world, judge however they want if it's good or bad.
It's fine.
Don't tell me what you got to do and then fit them in a box. If guys don't want to be out
preach.
there and wear it untucked, he wasn't the first to do it either. What didn't Ricky do it
I think so.
in Hawaii, right?
Uh-huh.
A couple of years ago. Hawaii's the spot. If you're going to test out
I think that's
the
where they test
untucked
it out.
look, it's Hawaii. But what I'm saying is whether it's the weekend round or on the PGA Tour, I just think that when you try to say that you have to do something a certain way, you stifle people's individuality and their creativity. Like if you want to wear it untucked, great.
Sure.
It doesn't mean I'm going to wear it untucked. I just personally, I feel like it's like I'm out there in a hockey jersey if I've got it untucked.
That's
right?
just it.
I just feel like I'm more
You
together.
don't feel put together, right?
Right. But that to say, it might look better on another dude. I'm short.
Yeah,
I don't
it
look
might.
good untucked.
Maybe like a tall guy with a.
Tucked in gives me like another couple of inches.
It's true. Yeah. I think.
Tall guy though, maybe you wear it untucked. I don't know. I'm just not about telling other people what to do with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
No dress code, Frank here.
No dress code. Go out there, look how you want to look, and listen, it's on you at that point though too. The responsibility is on you.
It's true.
If you look like a slob, be ready for the comments. People are going to call you a slob, but that's on you.
They will.
Right.
You're right. It's on you.
And it's different ways. Like, listen, there's different ways to wear it, and you can make it look good. That's what I think. But anyway, so the Sentry was cool. But the one thing you had too as a takeaway, you dug this up. For the first time, the Sentry is going to be changing the way that you get into qualifying.
It blew my mind because I'm like, these guys didn't win last year. This has always been a tournament of champions. Apparently, new rule: if you make it to the tour championship, you get an invite. And I think honestly, the reason for it is that the field is thinner because a lot of guys won multiple times. Like Scheffler won 4 times.
Yeah,
I think I counted 8 people who won more than once. And then you had the guys who won and went to live, like Gooch and Cam Smith and all those people. So there was a lot of guys who won on tour and went to live. Neiman was another one. It was like 2 or 3 other names, whatever. So I think that's probably the reason that motivated it. I got to think.
they definitely lost a few guys. And
then Rory didn't go, so they had some people who didn't even go who won. So the field definitely looked kind of different. And it had a weird,
Yeah.
I mean, we did a poll on our channel thinking was it different? And we'll get those results in a sec. But I think it didn't feel any different to me watching it because you still had guys that were big names. Like
that's it for me too. I mean, no matter what, sometimes some of these guys can have incredible seasons on tour and not have a win.
Right.
So I totally agree. I see a guy in there who hasn't had a win, but he's there at Kapalua, and I'm like, yeah, this is the right fit. Plus, I like to see a bigger field in Hawaii.
Yep.
I like to. It's as I said earlier, it's one of my favorite times of the year. These couple of events in Hawaii, I love that prime time watching it at night.
No doubt.
And I love we did a funny take on it there, but I love that a lot of times you'll see like the apparel companies debut some new stuff in Hawaii. So I say get as many guys there kind of as they can, open that qualifying up a little bit.
It's great, man. I love the whole the charitable donations for the guys wearing the Hawaiian shirts. They all did it as a whole crew.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool vibes. We got to get out there.
It's a fun vibe for sure. And the other hot thing that, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and it's going to be something that you talk about a lot this year, and you heard the announcers talking about it because it's the big news that I think the PGA Tour is trying to spread is the difference in some of the purses that we're going to see this year.
Yeah, they were talking about that a lot.
Be ready to hear a lot more of that. And I'm sure a little bit of that is contending with Liv, but you're seeing some of the biggest purses ever, and some of them have jumped up significantly this year. So we won't dig into it too much because we did talk about it, but I'm sure, just be ready. We're going to be talking about, especially around like the players.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I wanted to ask you, what did you think of Smiley on the mic?
I thought he did a pretty good job.
Right? I thought he did a good job.
I did. I mean, he's buddies with some of those guys,
Yep.
so he's going to fit right in. He's going to get the interviews because the guys want to talk to him.
Yep.
It's a familiar face.
Right.
And I think this is a good fit. I mean, here's a guy who obviously didn't work out on the PGA Tour, but he's got a ton of golf knowledge, and I think brings a nice youthful vibe.
That's what they're going for, and it was paying off because like they did this one thing. They're like, hey, they throw it down to Smiley. They were like, you went to JT's wedding. How was it? And he's like, I'm not going to say anything, but let's just say it was a good time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So stuff like that to kind of make it a little younger feel. Well, cool.
That's what I mean about them kind of like being there on the inside. Overall, just a terrific day and a terrific week. And then this week, of course, we've got the Sony, so we've got another week in
back
Hawaii.
To back, right? Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to watch it as I was with the last one. The other thing too, in a second, we're going to switch gears here, and we're going to hypothetically design our own golf course. And I've got a question I want to float by you with the general vibe of that. Before we do, though, exciting news, and we want to make sure you guys get this because it's coming up really soon. But we're gonna have our first meetup of the year.
Yeah,
our first in-person meetup. Mm-hmm. So we are. I mean, this super stoke levels super high for this because this is something we're finally getting back to. Is these in-person meetups?
That's right.
It's one of our favorite things with what we do with this. With Golficity in general.
Yeah, we had a plan to do about 8 of them in 2020.
We had multiple cities lined up, and unfortunately, it was right at the beginning of COVID. Everything got shut down, and it's just been a slow grind getting things running again. But we're kicking off 2023 the right way. So it's going to be here in New York. It's like probably, what would you say? It's about 30 minutes outside of New York City?
Yeah, I'd say about 30 minutes. You know, it's in Stony Point, New York, Patriot Hills at the Patriot Lounge. Mm-hmm. What a cool spot.
Cool spot. Brand new spot.
Brand new 3 TrackMan simulators.
Yep.
We're going to do food, drinks, NFL football.
Isn't there axe throwing there too?
There's some axe throwing. I'm going to stay far away from that.
Yeah, stay away from that.
Yep. It's in my contract.
We got a long golf season ahead of us.
Mike can't ski or do axe throwing.
We don't let him do
Yeah, I said I'm not.
anything
or
but play
ATVing,
golf.
Anything.
That's it. At this point, you can only play golf. But yeah, we're going to have free access to the simulators, get people in there playing a little bit of indoor golf. We're going to have a closest to the pin. We're going to be giving away a brand new Vokey SM9 wedge.
Sick.
We've got a putt out mat that we're going to be giving away. There's going to be some apparel there. And here's the coolest part. It's free.
It's free.
It's free. There's no excuses.
Yeah, just
no
come
excuses.
on down. It's a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon. And if your excuse is playoff football,
it'll be on.
We got TVs everywhere.
We got you.
We got you covered. Now you got no excuse. So we'll have a little bit of food. There will be a cash bar. So we're looking forward. This one's going to be a lot of fun.
And by the way, I think our merch guy Diego's going to be in the house.
Yes,
he's going to be bringing some of the cross tees. I know you guys love these hats, and we're going to be bringing them back in different styles.
That's right.
So he'll be there, so you can take a look at some of the samples.
We'll be able to pre-order some things. Another benefit of being there, and of course, if you're not already part of our Clubhouse, the Golficity Clubhouse, which is a awesome group chat that we've got going. Everybody in the Clubhouse is always the first to know about these things. We told everybody in there probably about a month ago.
Yep.
You go to golficity.com/clubhouse to get registered for it. Free. There's a free option. There's also a paid supporter option, which you get access to a few more things. But go and check that out. And we're psyched for this one. Have a little bit of fun. So it'll be 3 to 6 p.m. Again, it's gonna be a good time. And I think if you want to stick around even after that, the Patriot Lounge, I think they're gonna have live music.
Yeah, the band's coming in.
They got a band coming in after us. Yeah. So it's really cool. Shout out to the Patriot Lounge for hooking this up. They approached us with this idea when we were there playing Patriot Hills. We're like, love it.
It's
Been
awesome.
looking for some spots to get our meetups going. And if you guys have any suggestions for more meetups and where we should do them, let us know. We're going to be doing a little bit more travel this year. If we can fit in our travel schedule, we'll definitely try to. Sometimes when we're traveling, we're in and out pretty quickly. But if we're there extra time, we try to throw these things together. And that's another reason to be in the Clubhouse. Because even if we can get an impromptu one, like we got some time, let's meet at the bar. We'll throw it on there.
I love it. Love doing it. Can't wait.
Yeah. So
I saw it.
Stuff.
I thought you guys were going to be the.
We are the band.
Yeah, I thought you
We're the
guys
band.
were going to bring the band.
I was going to
back
say,
together.
spoiler alert, we are the band.
That's right.
We come out.
Stick around.
For those that didn't
Everyone will be
know,
out.
For those that didn't know, Mike plays a mean guitar, and I believe Frank plays a mean banjo as
We
well.
go way back. Cover band, open mic nights,
We used to play Thursday nights.
Thursday nights in Nyack. We're talking 10 years?
10 years ago. Easy.
Hopefully, we can dig up. I don't know if it's a video.
I have
but
them.
there's-
It's just how bad, how mad I am at Frank that day to put him out. I have these vids.
Maybe we'll slide him into this pod.
Him on the banjo is pretty sweet.
Dude, for a guy who just picked up the banjo,
He
I think
taught himself the
I
banjo.
kicked it up pretty good, pretty quick. That's for sure. All right. You know what? That seems like a good spot to take a break. Let's do a quick word from our sponsors. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about if we were to design a golf course and some hypotheticals. We're going to do a little bit of mind games with this one. So let's do a quick break. Let's do a word from our sponsors. We'll come right back.
All right, the hours have been put in, the work has been done. As the moment approaches, you either fear it or you feel it. For Titleist, it's a moment filled with pure anticipation, the culmination of a relentless pursuit of speed in every form. So step up and settle in with confidence. Guys, the Titleist TSR is here. It's been here. New TSR drivers take everything that made TSI the #1 driver on tour, and they pack it with even more performance into every single head. From the new face technologies to CG improvements, aerodynamic refinements, when everything moves the needle, you're playing at Titleist speed. So go to Titleist, learn more about the TSR metals, schedule a fitting, guys. 2023, if you haven't done a fitting yet, or if you're planning to do a fitting, if you're looking for a new driver this year, you got to go give the TSR metals a try. We did it in California. We loved it. Gains. Visit Titleist.com. Check it out.
All right, before we talked a little bit about Max Homa, some of the big names on tour, JT, guys like that. One thing you see a lot of those guys wearing, the Premier Series.
How sweet is that?
FootJoy. And this is specifically is the new My Joy, which you can do with the Premier Series to customize it. So I created a little custom number here that I'm going to use kicking
That's
off
sleek,
2023. I wanted to go with like kind of like a vintage vibe, but consistently the Premier Series has been our favorite. We've been wearing them. You saw Whistling Straits and everywhere else. And the newest member of the Premier Series, the Field, joins the collection. It features a modern take on the iconic Blutcher style. It's amazing traction. I think there's another reason why we love it, the stability, but the lightweight too.
Yep,
I mean, we see a shoe like that, Mike, and you see it scream style. It looks like a little bit more of that a little bit vintage feel to it. But what you don't see is kind of what's under the hood, how light it is, how comfortable it is. I've worn them for 36. I tell you what, get out there, give them a try. That's why you see so many players on the PGA Tour and in your weekend rounds, I'm sure, wearing them. It's a real modern twist to some classic styling. So go and check out the Premier Series. Go to footjoy.com. You can see the entire lineup and have a little fun while you're there. Fool around with those My Joys.
Yeah.
You can actually see it right on screen. You
Jazz
can
'em up.
build them out however you'd like. And the great part is that so much of the Premier Series line is available in the My Joy builder. So go and check that out, footjoy.com. All right, so jumping back into it, kind of one thing too that motivated this little conversation. Coming up on the show, stay tuned for this in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you subscribe if you're not already. We're going to have George and Wesley Bryant on the show.
That's going to be fun.
Actually, we'll have George back on the show.
That's
because
right.
We had George last year, but they've had some exciting news. They bought a golf course. I mean,
Sure.
how cool is that?
That is pretty cool.
Right.
That's a
So
dream.
I don't know how close you guys are following their YouTube channel, the Bryan Brothers. If you're not, definitely go subscribe. They make some of the best content out there. But it's really cool to see. They're going to be really attacking this in a way that we've never seen before. The way that they're designing the holes. I don't want to give too much of it away. We're going to let them talk about it when they come on the show. But of course, we're having lunch the other day. We started talking about it. Be like, what would we do if we designed a golf course? Who knows? Maybe someday.
Someday. It's the dream.
Someday.
Yeah.
But the question I had, and I was kind of like talking to you about it, like we joke sometimes about like going low out there for guys our handicap, like 10 handicap, like your everyday guys who don't really go low. It's all relative, right? But we said, those feel good rounds where like you get out there and it's a course that's a little bit easier. Maybe you play tees up a little bit and then you shoot a great round. It's a confidence builder. It just gets you right back on the horse when you're not playing well. So then what if a whole golf course was designed that way? Like, what if, like, let's hypothetically run through this. Like, if, and you guys weigh in the comments and let us know. if there was a golf course, and what a lot of us love about golf is the challenge.
Yes,
right. That's why.
right.
Why do you think we book bucket list courses that'll just beat us up? You know,
Right.
PGA Tour. We all want to play the PGA Tour courses that are so hard. We love that. But if there was the opposite, if there was a golf course that was just super easy, and you just kind of knew, like, all you had to do was play decent, and you were going to go low.
Yeah, every single time.
Would you do it?
I would a lot. I would do it maybe more than you think.
I think how fun would that be for the occasional, like you think about those like bachelor party rounds.
Yeah,
You get all the boys out there, and now you're just like
one guy's going 11 under,
Right.
one guy's 8 under.
or like squeaking that into your boys' trip.
Yes.
Right? Because the one thing that ruins it is like when somebody doesn't play well and they're throwing clubs.
Yep.
But imagine it was easy. So let's like run through this. Like, what would it feature? Like,
Well, yeah, and I'm thinking more like it's bumpers in bowling, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how can you put bumpers on a golf course?
well,
for
did you
people?
see? Speaking of which, during the PGA Tour this week, did you see that Callaway ad with John Rahm? And he goes to tee off, and the whole course
bends.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right,
then all of a
right.
sudden, like, because they're showing you how you find more fairways.
That made me think about my nets idea. I wanted a drivable par 4 where it's there's no trees, there's no bunkers, and it's just nets. And they're so sturdy nets that when you bounce them, they just bounce
Just
back
throws
and
you
forth.
back in.
Just keeps going back and forth until the green is in the middle, and you're guaranteed to drive the green. Every time. Now, it's up to you what you're going to do on the surface. You could 3-putt it, 2-putt it,
Right.
1-putt it. But you're on the green every time on this par 4. Imagine stepping up to that knowing that.
Hilarious.
Do you have nets behind the
The whole thing
nets
is
behind
surrounded
the
by
green
nets.
too?
Like
so
that
you can
one
go
hole
long?
is a guaranteed drivable par 4.
So just swing as hard as you can. 'Cause
Yeah.
You know it's going to hit something.
And it's going to be fun on the way. It's going to be ding, 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 ding. Unless you hit it pin straight.
Oh my God. Well, that one certainly is like right on the nose. But I'm even thinking like, what if like in some of your fairways, you just kind of put a little bit more of the mounds on the side that just kind of naturally rolled it back towards the fairway.
Just bring it to the middle.
Like, so maybe not if you just like absolutely like tattoo like this slice, but if you hit it like just off the fairway and it kind of rolls back.
I love it. Just brings you back in
Brings you
every
back
single
in.
time. I mean, that's similar. I love it.
I mean, what else would they have out there to make it
Green's
easier?
got to be
Punch
like punch ball,
greens.
almost funnel like. Where like if you're on the green, it's gonna either go in or be like stop an inch from it.
I'm thinking 2 greens. I'm thinking Sleepy Hollow, right? Which
Yeah,
was, I think it's like the 14th of the
That
15th.
blind.
It's called Punch Ball.
Yep.
And I remember I hit one like pretty hot into it and it go
almost
across the green. It
dunked
hits the
that thing,
punch
I
green and it came back.
Yeah.
Right. Or the other one when we played the Baths, the short course at Kohler, Whistling Straits.
I almost got that one in too.
You almost
That was
had one, and
Mason
from Busted Jack
He
almost
almost
had
aced
one.
there.
And
That was a cool featured hole because anywhere you hit it, it kind of just funneled it back.
Right. So not only is it a little easier, but it's also kind of fun. You get
Fun.
to be creative. Like
Yep.
it's like I'm gonna hit this one up past the green and let it roll back down.
Yep. Driving range would be gimmicky. I would have things where you can like aim at, like not windmills and stuff and dinosaurs, but
my goodness.
I'd have something out there which would make it a little more fun. I'm seeing more and more courses have things on their driving range to make it a little more fun, even if it's just a top tracer technology or like for that, but just things on there to make it different. I would want the range to be a community too with the golf course.
The range is just Top Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it just like that, but it was there. Like, and there's a vibe there. There's a vibe on the course.
Well, I'll
That's
tell you
just one of
what,
the features I would have.
all my par threes are.
If we're
150
fantasy world, sorry, are we fantasy world or was like legit?
Well, I'm
I'm going
there's a
full fantasy
world. It's
world.
a full fantasy world. There's
Like,
unlimited
money's not an
budget.
option.
I'm just playing out this idea of like what a really easy golf course would look
Yeah.
like, and honestly, would it be appealing, or would it be that like okay, that was fun for one time, but it's too easy, and I want the challenge back? Like I'm thinking, I'm still playing out this idea of easy. I think all my par threes are 150 and under.
Yeah,
No long par threes,
No
'cause
long
par threes are what kill you.
No par threes longer than 150.
No forced layup par fives.
Okay.
Par fives that
All reachable.
all they're within reason, reachable, but at least there's no like where because sometimes I hate that in a par five. It comes with a scoring hole,
Right.
And it's like they do some sort of like turns or like
Right.
marsh areas that make it so like you almost can't get there
Yeah.
until like you're forced to do a
Right.
3-shot hole.
But to that point, though, I would love to have a hole designed. I don't know what course it is. I don't know if it's Warwick. It's the par five that wraps. You can maybe go for it in one.
Yes, you can go right over the streets like
I want a
you.
par five that you can go for it in one, and you have a legitimate chance of getting it, but
Yeah.
a lot of danger. I know it takes away from the go low,
Right.
But if you do get it, it's great. A little more. I mean, I think that's a cool feature on a golf course. You don't see it too often. It's like the only place Bay Hill maybe for those long hitters.
Yeah, but you gotta be super.
You got to be a
long.
super long
gotta be
hitter.
super
You
long.
don't see that too often.
Well, look, like that's a way that golf courses can be sneaky harder than they are. Is like it's like just with these very tempting shots that will tempt the less experienced golfers into going for it. But one thing my course would have, whether it was a hard course or not, and this is something that I'm psyched for. I want to check this out and find out more about it. We just got some information. I believe they're going to be at the PGA show, which we're going to be at in 2 weeks. And by the way, we're going to stay tuned to all our social channels. We're going to try to bring you guys as much as we can while we're there from the PGA show of some of the new innovations. But this one I just thought was brilliant. And this is a little sidebar, but I'll get all the information as it rolls out. But there's this company that's bringing out this technology where they're going to have on specific, especially the more bucket list courses, they'll start rolling them out there first. On the par threes specifically to start, they're going to have cameras on the greens and on the tees. And when you get up to the tee box, there's going to be like a QR code or something. You scan it and there'll be an app, right? So it knows it's you and you're there. And then it'll say the cameras are rolling. Go ahead and tee off, right? And you tee off, you play the hole like you normally would. And then it says by the time you get to the next tee box, listen to this.
Yeah, stop it.
You get a notification on your phone. Your video is ready.
Yeah.
And it gives you a PGA Tour quality video. Get this, shot tracer and everything. It's got your shot from your tee box and it cuts to the camera on the green of where it lands. It looks literally like what you see on the PGA Tour. And they're going to start rolling this out at golf courses.
Do you have to pay for it?
I don't know if there'll be any subscription. As of right now, they didn't mention it. It looks like it's still in like rollout and beta.
Right.
But you know where they do have it? They have it at Paynes Valley.
Okay.
Tiger's course.
Yeah.
And they've already caught 2 hole-in-ones on that camera.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you do it?
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
How cool would that be? Because I mean,
Imagine you show up to 7 at Pebble and you're like, it's a bucket list.
right. And for golf courses, it's instant. Like what courses want for like their marketing is content, right? It's instant content. Like people are going to share it. That's the whole idea of this is like record it so people can share it.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
I'm upset.
idea.
I didn't think of that.
There goes my job.
Yeah, right.
But for real, like imagine as they start to roll this out on more and more golf courses. Like I would have that on every par 3 on my course. That'd be like number
I
one
love that.
priority. Like get
Absolutely.
that thing in there.
Move that up to the top of the list.
Right. Now you'll be some people who don't want to be bothered with it and don't use it. You don't have to. It's just like they're on the tee box. There'll be like some sort of scan this, and it'll know who you are based on your like. I'm sure you'll register in the app.
That's incredible.
And then boom, you'll have your what do you call it? So I want to see it. Supposedly they'll have some demo of it down at the PGA show. So we're gonna look for that.
Let's go look for that.
Who knows? Maybe we'll even get the inventor here on the show at some point. But I thought that was brilliant, and I would have it on every par 3.
I think that's
on my
cool.
course.
That's a cool feature. Got to have it. Got to have that for sure. I mean, I'm trying to think what else I would go with. I mean, I don't. The vibe at Winding Hills I keep coming back to is that outdoor patio. I'm thinking more off the course.
Yeah.
Just like in fantasy world, I'd love to have a place where people can just come and hang out. You know.
I think ultimately what we're coming down to is if we were to design a course, it would be like kind of the ultimate hang.
Yep.
Like think Pop Stroke, but a course.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
And
like it's
and
fun. You're out there, like.
And just like hear the rumblings of people talking like they're just comparing scorecards. And like I said before, one guy's 9 under and they're just like, yo, I went, you know, it's just that vibe. Everyone is playing well. Everyone's happy.
I would also love to see, like, I think tech would be heavy on my designed golf course. I mean, these are technology that's out there. It's not reinventing the wheel.
Right.
So the course thing that's coming out with the cameras, but I would also love to have on any given day, the live leaderboard for the day.
That's cool.
Like everybody kind of like, maybe it's in the carts to make it easy. Like you check in and you just enter your score. You don't have, I guess you don't have to participate, but whatever. Let's say you're out there and just like
maybe
you
I
see
check and they ask, we want to participate in today's live leaderboard.
Yeah, and you just have the live leaderboards and have it almost like master style, like on
out there, a big one.
big
And
ones.
you're going to the go low course because you know you're going low. If you don't sign up to be a part of that leaderboard, you're lame.
Yeah, you're lame.
You know what that leaderboard does? It makes you feel like you're playing a tournament every day.
Right. And what I would do is I'd have the leaderboard. I'd have it up for like who's on the course right now and the day. And every day you have the day's low.
Incredible.
How cool would that be? And you'd have like maybe the score, it would be in the carts, like where you are on the leaderboard.
Right.
And also like the major leaderboards would be up there for just for the day. And then
incredible.
slates wiped clean.
I'm excited about that.
Next day, new leaderboard.
People.
New people, new leaderboard.
I love that.
If
you
we're
win
going,
something every day, if you're the leader for the day.
Well, the hard part is you got to, are
Fantasy
people
world?
being honest? Are they
That's
not?
true.
You know,
True.
You have some guys coming with ridiculous scores, but if nothing else, like, hey, well, I guess the cameras would help.
The cameras would help on the par 3s.
Right.
18 holes or not?
Yeah,
Gotta go
definitely.
18. Okay. I either go 18 or 3 9s.
Yeah.
I love 3 9s.
That's what I was thinking too. 3 9s could be really
completely
fun.
different 9s.
3 completely different 9s. You know what one made me think of that was Great Gorge. Remember they had the rail,
rails.
they had whatever, and you had like 3 very different, characteristically different, and then that way too, it helps with the pace of play because you can route people through different 9s.
I think carving 3 9s in a space designed for a normal 18 would be the dream, because you shorten things to make it easier.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, because the hard part, when you start to shorten a course too much, you start to slow up pace of play too.
Yes.
Because people are waiting on par 4s to tee off and things like that. But I tell you what, keeping with that fun vibe, the other thing that I would have is I'd have those, we tested them in Orlando years ago, but those motorcycles. The Finn scooters, I'd have those.
Yep.
Oh, and it would have to have the turf, like at the Grove.
Yeah.
So you can just drive them anywhere on the greens, on the tee boxes.
Which would be so dope. But the only problem with that is like it's very region specific. Like I don't think you could ever have that here in the Northeast because how wet things get.
Oh shucks, we got to move to warmer climates.
We may have to place this in Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, where you could be able to do that. But
that's true. If you could put this course anywhere, where would you put it?
Man,
probably
it's
Hawaii.
So
and now at this point,
Bermuda.
Right? Like now we're just really just writing our own ticket. Put it in Hawaii. It's beautiful all year long.
But you know what? No one would be able to get to the Go Low course in Hawaii. We got to make it accessible. So maybe Florida is the play. It's like the golf.
The Go Low course is gonna be a franchise.
Maybe
like
put
Pop Stroke. They're gonna be everywhere.
Maybe put it at Myrtle. That's
Myrtle could be a
closer to Florida than like for us.
Myrtle would. It'd be like, guys, listen, last night was a heavy night of drinking. Let's take it easy today. Let's play the Go Low course.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to get beat up
let's
today.
Just not get beat up
Let's
today.
just go out there and play Go Low.
I'm thinking on the greens, it has like that new AR technology. You know what I'm talking about?
that
like
helps
where
you read it?
Yeah, where you put the goggles on each green. Like you grab the set of goggles, you put them on.
The tech is going to be key.
It teaches you.
I can't wait to test that, by the way, in Orlando.
That's the other thing.
We are going to test that AR with the goggles, which is going to be wild.
Putt View makes that.
Right.
Yeah, so that was going to be cool. But listen, you guys weighing in the comments. I know we're just kind of like having a little bit of fun with this one, but 2 questions we have. One, if there was a golf course that was designed to be easy, not so much a challenge, but you have that confidence building round, would that appeal to you? Is that something you would actually go and play? Would you play it regularly? Let us know. And second of all, if we miss anything that you would add to this hypothetical Go Low course, let us know what it would be. As creative as you can get.
The only thing missed for me was I would add a couple of food trucks out there. Tacos.
Yeah,
something.
what kind of food are we having?
The taco truck changes every day. So.
Taco truck would be pretty legit.
Imagine like poke bowls, ahi, tuna. I'm on this Hawaiian swing so bad in my head right now. Yeah, I gotta stop.
This clip that's making the rounds on social media. It's like this halfway house, like to end all halfway houses.
Yep.
Have you seen this thing? It's like all open, and then you just go in. Like people are just opening up drawers.
No,
and there's just everything you want. Oh, I got to show you.
Yeah,
I'll show it to you after the show. Maybe we can even overlay it here for people who are watching. But it's like the best halfway house. I've seen this thing a couple times making the rounds, but it's just like we're talking like refrigerated drawer after drawer, stacked with anything you want, every candy you want.
No way.
Every like drink, it's all there. It's like the halfway house to end them all.
That's what you got to have.
That's going to be out there too.
Halfway house has to be designed by like premier designer. Architect. We put all our money towards
all the money goes to the halfway house. The clubhouse is a shack.
Yes.
It's just a guy in a box who takes tea time.
Once they make the turn, it's like this thing, this oasis. Oh, that's
it's
great.
Like, don't worry about that. Wait till you see the halfway house.
Yes.
Oh my God. Anyway. So yeah, that's the hypothetical. I think after hearing this, I don't think George and Wesley are ever going to let us anywhere near their course.
No, I doubt it.
They'd be like, no thanks, guys. But stay tuned for that. Like I said, we're going to have them on the show. They're going to talk about their concept of what they're going to be doing with their course. And we got some exciting guests coming up really soon. We're working on getting Mac on the show. You've seen him on social media with those incredible shots that he could bending it all over the place. Mm-hmm. So we got some great guests coming up. And then, like I said, stay tuned. We're going to have a recap after we get down to the PGA show, which, believe it or not, it's been 2 years since we've been there because of COVID.
That's right.
So finally getting back, and it's when you start to see some of the products debut and stuff like that.
We're
so a lot of equipment.
Night golf.
We're going to play night golf while we're down there, yeah.
We're going to head down to Jupiter for a day, we think.
Oh, that would be the other thing. Our course has to have lights.
Oh, it has to have lights.
Has to.
Like the most popular tee times are going to be the night ones.
Yeah.
Like that's when you go. It's like, oh, all the night ones are taken. I can't go out early morning anymore.
Well, that's
No
what I
doubt.
love. I mean, listen, I love this idea with the lights anyway, because you open up tee times to people who couldn't play it, other times. Like there's a lot of guys, you can't get out there during the day, whether it's work or on the weekend, it's with the family. You can't get out.
Would you go 24 hours?
I don't know. 24 hours is rough. Like you got to be able to
Imagine you're
staff
like
the time.
you're a working guy. You work down in like the city. You get home finally. The kid goes to sleep. You even get a babysitter. You go out. You play 9 at like 10 p.m.
I see. Listen, this is where it goes well above my head of running a golf course business, because I'm thinking like maintenance. When would they do it? I feel like you got to shut down a little while for maintenance. I feel like
the first 24-hour golf course. Let's go.
I feel like
Lights.
your last tee time on a night course is like 11, right?
You would need some. Yes, you need someone to
11
clean
o'clock
up like the
tee
debauchery
time.
that went on.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You get 11 o'clock. Those guys are coming in, bringing the carts in around 2, 3. And then 3 to, let's say, 6, it's closed for maintenance.
All the cars got to get spun.
Right. Spin those carts,
Yep.
get them right back open at 6 a.m. Ready to go.
Takes an army to do it.
Takes
Might be
it.
tough.
Listen, we're going to make this happen one day. We're going to make this happen. All right, guys. Anyway, that's everything we have for you this week. Like I said, weigh in the comments. Let's get this conversation going. The Go Low Golf Course. We're gonna dream it into existence. That's for sure. And make sure you subscribe. Great interviews coming up real soon. We'll see you next week.